But a very funny idea. But very brave of you to go ahead with that, you know, because you're kind of asking for trouble in a way.
Yeah, you know, obviously I knew it was sort of an edgy subject, and we wanted to make sure that we were approaching it in the right way. And, you know, all along the process, I just was always checking in with, you know, with friends of mine. And, you know, when we screened the movie, I wanted to get reactions. And, I think because Robert's such a good actor and he committed to it so much, and it was really clear that, you know, the idea was just a wrong-headed idea. This guy could even think that he could play this role.
So because in the movie, you're saying the guy's obviously it's a crazy thing to do. It's a silly thing
right.
to do.
It takes a huge ego to...
Okay. Now, but the interesting is the row between your character. Your character, you played, is he Tug Speedman?
I played Tug Speedman. Yeah.
Tug Speedman.
Yeah, he's a...
And Tug Speedman there's a great scene between Tug and Robert Downey Jr.'s character in which they were arguing because Tug had been in a movie playing a disadvantaged person. Yeah,
he's sort of a fading action star. He's been the star of the Scorcher movies, which is this sort of post-apocalyptic action movie series where the Earth's rotation has stopped and it starts to burn up and he has to save the world. And they're like on Scorcher 6, and it's sort of like, you know... It's,
running out of ideas.
Things aren't going well for him, and so he does this movie where he wants to be taken seriously and maybe, you know, win an Oscar called Simple Jack, where he plays a mentally impaired farmhand who can talk to animals. And it's just, it doesn't work, you know. It's like it's called one of the worst movies of all time, and so he, so that's his issue that he's dealing with. He's, you know...
And it's established in the film that perhaps Tug was hoping for an award. He was hoping for accolades by playing this role.
That's right. Yeah, he's clearly going to you know, get an Oscar, and it just backfires horribly. And he's talking to the scene in the movie. He's talking to Robert about it, and Robert sort of, you know, educates him on how you're supposed to play it so that you actually win.
You don't go fully the whole distance.
Right, exactly.
You hold a little back so the audience can associate something.
That's right.
And this upsets certain groups in America, I believe.
I think so. I think there was one group, and, you know, to me it's pretty clear where the humor comes from, which was we're making fun of the actors and their ignorance and...
Who would go that way
and ridiculous things actors do to win awards and be taken seriously.
But I guess when you have a scene in which the word retard is bandied around about 25 times, people don't always pay attention.
It seems that way, yeah.
But that's gone away now? That's died down, that...
It had until just now. Thank you.
Well, I could have asked you to do your Simple Jack voice. That would have really done it.
That won't be happening. But check it out in the movie.
Let me ask you then about other aspects of the film, which I very much enjoyed. We've kind of dealt with that. Directing your fellow actors, when you're directing yourself as well, that must be tough, especially when you are wearing prosthetics. And there's one scene early on where you lose your hands. The actor loses hands.
Yeah. There's a scene. It's sort of the movie within the movie. It's this war movie. My character's had his hands blown off, and it's sort of this death scene with...
It's meant to be a big emotional
big emotional scene where my character's supposed to cry, and he can't really cry, and I'm having trouble bringing the tears, and Robert's character is crying very easily, and I'm sort of getting upset because I can't cry, and so I sort of try to stop the scene. And it's just, so it's like the big war scene, and then you turn around, you see the whole crew, and you see Steve Coogan, who's the director, Damien Cockburn, and he's, you know, trying to get me to cry. And that was a tough scene to direct just because it was confusing. Because first of all, I had my hands tied behind my back because I'd fake...
So your hands are tied behind your back and they're fake arms.
Exactly, fake arms. And then trying to sort of direct the scene, and I'm trying to tell the director, the actor who's playing the director, when to start.
But you can't do any of this.
I can't do this, and
so
I realized...
Can we have your hands behind your back, Ben? Let's see how this played out. So you're directing now.
Right, and I'm trying to get Steve Coogan to, you know, do
Were you trying to use the stumps in that way?
It's hard enough to direct Steve Coogan with hands, you know? So I think just, it was just very frustrating, and it was very confusing, and it took a while to get that.
Now, can we talk about the big cameo, the big surprise cameo?
The big surprise cameo.
The big secret.
You want to talk about the surprise cameo?
Well,
sure.
because because it's a great surprise, and it won't spoil the surprise by them knowing in advance.
Go ahead.
Because
Go ahead. Talk about the surprise cameo.
Well, there's a big surprise cameo, ladies and gentlemen, and I won't say who or what he's playing.
Okay.
But it's Tom Cruise. No, you're laughing. For real, Tom Cruise is in the film, isn't he?
Tom Cruise is in the movie.
Yeah. Hold on, why did you laugh? You didn't think you could get Tom Cruise to be in his movie? Man, that was rude, wasn't it?
No, they laughed because you gave away the surprise cameo.
They laughed because they didn't think you had the Hollywood chops to get Tom Cruise in one of your movies.
I think these people are on my side here. You're trying to, like, divide. Thank you.
Tom Cruise, brilliant. I mean, just a brilliant performance by him. You know, really, and unexpected. So, I'm a big Cruise fan. How do you make that call? How do you say to him, "I want you to play such a revolting character"?
You know what? He was into it. He had read the script, and he was into the idea of having some fun playing this guy. And he had the idea for the look of the guy. I wanted him to be bald. Yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about it. We might as well talk about it. Okay. He's bald in the film. Yeah. And he has really big hands, really big, hairy hands. It's really
quite horrible.
Yeah.
And, they're really huge and hairy.
Yeah. And they're amazing. So he has his big hands, and he's sort of like, you know, foul-mouthed. And
but it's
really...
odd because it's kind of sort of oddly sexual, the size of his hands. Did you find that?
No, but you did.
Yeah. Here's the thing why I'm surprised, because you're pretty friendly with Tom. You're fairly close mates?
I'm friendly with him, yeah.
Okay. Because you started off years ago, you did a very funny skit where you kind of mocked him, and then then he saw that and he warmed to that.
I know, and that's I give him so much credit, because I think if I saw somebody mock me, I don't know if I would become friends with them.
Yeah, but he didn't.
But it was a loving mock, I think, because I was just a huge Cruise fan, so it's sort of like, you know, he could tell I was sort of obsessed.
But you're physically quite similar, you know.
Not really, but in, you know. But I don't,
well, no, obviously you're not good looking like he is, but you know what I mean? No, you're good looking. You're quite a good looking man. But you know what I mean? Like, compared to him, he's too good looking.
He is, exactly. Who wants to be that good looking?
No one. Who wants to be that crazy looking?
Oh, my God.
So we saw this, and then he asked you, did he ask you to do the thing on the Mission Impossible DVD, or was that, how did that come about? Because have you seen that on the Mission Impossible DVD?
There's a little short on that DVD that we actually did for the MTV Movie Awards a long time ago, where I play his stuntman, who was sort of obsessed with him and stalking him, and who's named himself Tom Cruise, C-R-O-O-Z-E.
If you haven't seen this, it's a fab, and it's a great. I think it's a great impersonation, but it's more of a. It's a performance more than.
Yeah, and it was just sort of. But I think the interesting thing about it was I was sort of doing it with him, and we were just sort of playing off each other.
It's great.
It was a bizarre experience.
Ben as Tom Cruise with the actual Tom Cruise. You have a look at this. Mission Improbable.
Listen, he's harmless. I would definitely say that Tom's celebrity has affected my life in both good and bad ways. I mean, it's hard for both of us, really. Can you do another? Thanks. I mean, maybe it's a little harder for Tom, but it's probably almost as hard for me. I'll get doubles, all right? Yeah. Okay. You know, sometimes it's a little crazy to think about, and that's when we all have to kind of walk away and, you know, stick our heads in the water and just kind of shake them out and then say, wait a minute, you know, what time is it, and where do I go to get lunch? I'm gonna go get a bagel. Yeah. You want something?
No, I'm good, Tom.
All right, okay.
I'm good.
All right.
All right.
We've worked together for so long now. It's almost like, I don't know. It's kind of like we almost finish each other's sentences, kind of.
I mean, I don't think we've ever finished each other's sentences.
I couldn't tell which was which.
So eerie, isn't it?
Oh, that's very funny. Ben, congratulations, Tropic Thunder. It's a very funny movie. It opens tonight all over the country, and it will be a big hit over here, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Your kids, they're too young to see a movie like this, I guess.
I believe so, yeah.
How old are they now?
They're 6 and 3.
Okay, yeah, they're too young.
Yeah. Okay. Even if we added them up, they'd still be too young to see.
Have they seen any of your films? Can they watch any
They've seen like they've seen Madagascar, Night at the Museum.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, that's and Night at the Museum. You're doing a sequel, I believe, aren't you?
Yes, we are. We actually just finished shooting that.
Well, I'm pleased for you. I'm looking forward to that. However, that's not the sequel I want to see you make.
What is the sequel?
You know, what sequel do we want to see Ben make? Zoolander.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Everyone wants to see Zoolander. You must know that. It wasn't that big a hit when it came out, was it, Zoolander? Is that right?
I wouldn't say it was that big a hit. No.
No.
It was not. It was not a no. But no. But it's actually nice because you do notice when you go through life the movies that people sort of remember, and that one is definitely one people seem to remember. I would like to do a sequel to it, but because people really like the first one, the fans of it, I want to make sure that we could do something that would, not just to do it.
Ben, whatever you do next, I know I'm going to enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'd agree, a spectacular guest, Mr. Ben Stiller.
Thank you very much.
Ben, great, as always. Several moments of relaxation. Thank you. Ben Stiller. Thank you, Ben.